coming up on At Your Leisure.
Hey, I'm Scout Huntsman. Hey, you want to know what top of the world looks like? Well, come with me today and come check this out.
This is Doug Jessup. In this episode of Jessup's Journeys, we're visiting with Devin Chavez with the Utah Division of State Parks.
I'm Will Oxley. Off-road clubs and organizations don't just use trails, they foster and implement improvements for everyone's benefit.
You know, the beautiful spires that are out here. I'm up Highway 128 in Moab. It is beautiful, and it is Easter Jeep Safari, and I know it snowed about 2 feet up in Salt Lake City at home, but as you can see, there's no snow here. Hey everybody, welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Scott Huntsman. I'm here for the 57th annual Easter Jeep Safari, and today we're gonna head up onto a trail. It's called Top of the World. And we're stopped here at Fisher Towers along the way and taking a beautiful look at this. Now, Easter Jeep Safari draws people from all over the country. They come here for a reason. It's not just Jeeping, but that's a pretty good reason to be here. Why don't we talk to some of the folks that are along with us and see what the passion is for them and what draws them to this area.
Actually, the first time we came out here wasn't even really for Moab. We were mainly in Canyonlands in the national parks, and then you spend some time in the city of Moab, or town of Moab, and you've got all the great restaurants and a lot of fun stuff going on, and then the trails right outside Moab. It's such a great base camp, and every time we come out, they'll be like, all right, next time I want to check out that place, and yeah, little by little, we kind of keep checking out more of the town and what's fun,
We are from New Jersey, Mendham, New Jersey, northern part of the state. Years ago, we used to go skiing up in the Salt Lake area, and we had never ventured down to southern Utah. I mean, obviously, if you're a Jeeper, Moab definitely has a meaning to you, so we came to try it out. And that was several years ago, and we fell in love with all of southern Utah and what it has to offer. We're back again this year for Easter Jeep Safari. There's no appreciation, like you're here and you appreciate the beauty. And it really shouldn't be a surprise that Hollywood is out here doing movie, but it was great to go through and just see the history and all the John Wayne movies and just all the Thelma and Louise that was filmed out here. It really brings home how magnificent the scenery is and why Hollywood is so attracted to Moab.
We've told everybody it's always like one of our favorite spots we've ever been to. So we try to come out once a year. Once we started our own business, we knew we had to try to combine work and Easter Jeep Safari. And of course we had gotten the Gladiator, so we love coming out here. It's beautiful.
You know, the Dewey Bridge, the historic Dewey Bridge, constructed in 1916, this was a connecting point between Grand Junction, Colorado and southeastern Utah. It was a single-lane bridge that was used for years until it was decommissioned when the modern highway bridge was constructed. It was then a walking bridge which in 2008 was destroyed by a wildfire. So all that stands now is just the cabling left of it. But what this is a great air down spot for us. So while our group airs down and we get ready to do the Top of the World Trail, don't miss this story coming up.
Hi, this is Doug Jessup. Welcome to another episode of Jessup's Journeys. With me today, Devin Chavez with the Utah Division of State Parks. So Devin, there's a lot of state parks, and some that people have been to and some not so much. So how many state parks are we up to so far?
46 right now.
Okay, so everybody get your piece of paper. There is going to be a quiz. These are the top 5 least visited state parks. Let's see how many of you've been to, okay? Number 5 least visited is?
Frontier Homestead State Park Museum in Cedar City.
Okay, now I love this one because it's got all kinds of activities, but also inside they've got the stagecoaches and all that neat stuff. What's your favorite thing about that one?
Interactive activities, like you said, making horseshoes, making rope, panning for gold, even doing a little bit of clothes washing outside, making history a little bit fun.
There you go. Okay, now let's go south a little bit to the little sleepy town of Blanding, Utah. There is the number 4 least visited state park is called?
Edge of the Cedars State Park Museum.
Okay, Edge of the Cedars. Okay, you know what? It's the edge of the state. That might be part of the thing. Okay, so what are people going to find there?
A lot of native artifacts, pottery. There's a macaw sash that actually proves trade between this area of Utah and the central Mexico area.
Wow.
So a lot of cool history there.
Okay, now talking about history, the number 3 least visited state park is in the town that was the actual center of government for the state of Utah for quite a while, actually, in Fillmore. So what's number 3?
Territorial State House.
Okay, what are people going to find there?
A lot of Utah history, like you said. It's the first state capital of Utah. So if people want to get to know history a little better, check it out.
Okay, now this next number 2, I got to ask you, okay, putting you on the spot, Devin, do you by chance happen to own a hang glider?
I do not.
Okay, neither do I, so I've seen people jump off of this, particular state park, but okay. The number 2 least visited state park is?
Flight Park State Recreation Area.
Okay, there you go. Okay, there you go. And the number one least visited state park, sorry guys, is?
Paiute State Park.
Okay, now I hate to say it, it's probably because it's just kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but what's the thing that people like to do out there?
Usually people like to fish and do water recreation-based activities.
With another entry into Jessup's Journeys, people, places, and things you might not know about, I'm Doug Jessup for At Your Leisure. We'll be right back.
What would your perfect day in Green River look like? You'd probably start with a few good friends and a hearty breakfast. From there, you'd hit the trails along the Green River and find things you never expected. Your OHVs would take you to places both striking and serene. You'd end at Ray's for a burger and good conversation, letting the memories grow long into the night. Green River, Utah. Ride your perfect today.
At Your Leisure has a long-standing reputation and a large, loyal audience of adventurers in the outdoors. Although we're excited to continue to grow and enjoy the shared success of our longtime sponsors, we have space for more. And if you have a brand that would benefit from the 2 decades of goodwill that we've built, contact us at ayltv.com and let us amplify your voice above the competition.
When you're ready for adventure, fuel your machine with Clear 91. Fuel for performance, fuel for adventure, and fuel for the long haul. Ethanol-free, 91 octane. Fill up with Clear 91. Only available at Eagles Landing. With you for the long haul.
Sometimes to recharge, you need to unplug. In Tickaboo, Utah, you'll find a landscape that will give you more energy than you ever thought possible. Escape the heat in the Henry Mountains, where history, off-road adventure, and bison herds meet. It's time to unplug and recharge. Tickaboo, Utah.
Everybody, welcome back to At Your Leisure. We're rolling along on the Top of the World Trail. And here we are. I don't know the name of this obstacle, it doesn't matter, but this is one of the better climbs. We're gonna give it a shot. Looks like I should do pretty good with it. Oh, I thought so anyway. I need what we call a little bit of a Moab bump. There we go. We're moving. This is great. You know, it's just a lot of fun to be down here. And one of the things that's really great about this is there is so much more to do than just the jeeping, especially on the way up. There we go. On the way up, we stopped a couple places on Highway 128, which is a beautiful drive. We stopped at Red Cliffs Lodge at this fantastic movie museum there. And checking out the movies that they make in this area, it's just absolutely incredible, and it's a lot of fun. Plus, we also stopped at Fisher Towers and really looked at Fisher Tower area. What a spectacular view and rock formation that comes up there at Fisher Towers. Absolutely love it. It's absolutely beautiful, it's stunning. We also run into some other people on the trail as we go. We got a Gladiator coming down right now. But boy, that thing is loaded up really good. I like that. What's that say? Asheville Vehicle Outfitters. Far out, that's quite a load you got on there.
Really, the camping gear is, ever since COVID, has really taken off, and so customers wanted to get out and explore, and so we build a vehicle that can kind of do it all. A lot of times it's just suspensions, wheels, tires, but a lot of it's the touring gear, the alu cab campers and rooftop tents and solar panels and onboard water and all this kind of stuff. It really is a go anywhere, do all this and then go and camp at the end of the day. I mean, we can tell customers, hey, look, we wheeled these trails with this same setup. We were able to, we had 30-mile-an-hour winds 2 nights ago, so we had to deal with that and cooking and the heater and all this kind of stuff. So, we really get to learn a lot while we're out here too on the vehicle, and then also, make changes when we go home. Last year, same vehicle, we made about 5 major changes from when we were out here before.
One reason we love our Jeep and the canopy camper, the way that it's set up is not only can we go off-road on all the trails and everything, but we can basically go off-road anywhere, and we have our whole camp set up with us wherever we go. So we have everything we need, from the water to the heater. We've got an awning if it's rainy weather. Yeah, we love it.
Where do you start your day when there are endless opportunities to explore? In Ridgefield, we'll set you on the right track with the Paiute ATV Trail right on our doorstep. Head into the Tusher Mountains and taste the crisp mountain air. Explore desert landscapes that echo voices from the past. Ridgefield, the heart of Utah Trail Country.
Wondering where your next OHV adventure will take you? Outsiders Utah has your answer with downloadable GPS routes, ride times, distance, local amenities, and other details. 360 street views of the trails that let you explore before you go, and more. Eliminate the guesswork and uncertainty and find a trail you'll love. Visit outsidersutah.com and see the trail before you ride the trail.
Locally owned Stedman's Recreation has been serving Utah for over 50 years. The owners, Russ, Dave, and Kirk, live and ride here. Stedman's Recreation supports the community, sponsoring schools, Utah state parks, and Utah trail systems. Looking for a new side-by-side, ATV, or dirt bike? Your wait is over. Inventory is in stock. Let Stedman's help you get outside so you can create memories that last a lifetime. Yamaha, Honda, Polaris, Argo, KO, and Beta.
Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. You might think it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's only 30 miles back.
Hey everybody, welcome back to At Your Leisure. You can't beat a view like this. You ever wanted to know what Fisher Towers look like from the backside? Well, here it is right here. Fisher Towers down there, and look at this snowstorm coming in over it. That's a view that you just don't get every day, let alone even being up here. It's absolutely spectacular. I'll tell you, there's nothing like it. And not even when you're up here. This is really cool. At any rate, this Top of the World Trail is coming along very nicely. We're making our way up to the top. In fact, let's talk to some of the people that are on this trail with us right now today.
It's a whole nother world here. It is so beautiful. You know, you get like the desert, you have the snowy mountains back there. Yeah, you really just have to be here to really experience it. You only can show so much on camera and stuff, you know, you really got to get out here. Last night we camped along the river and stuff, and it's beautiful.
It's cool to experience all these cool places too with these type of vehicles and what the off-roading allows you to do, you know. You meet a lot of great people out here too from all different, like we just met people from California and we're talking to them, and people from like the Midwest, and everybody's here with a different story. And the 4x4 trails give you a lot of access to a really awesome experience.
It's awe-inspiring. I mean, it's uniquely beautiful here. So, you know, it's that alone, the scenery, the views, and then the jeeping has been, it's been a lot of fun.
You don't mind riding with your husband? Tell us about his driving skills.
Sometimes they're questionable.
You know, for me, it's definitely parking up at the Rock and pulling the Jeep up there and standing up there is definitely a bit of a hard stopper, if you will, especially if you're a little afraid of heights. You know, a couple of the Easter Jeep Safari tours we've done, the leaders have been really good providing some history and geological history, which to us is fascinating. Being from the Northeast, like you look at some of these structures and you really scratch your head, you wonder, how was this formed? When was this formed? So putting that in perspective 20, 30, 40, 50 million years ago, and just all the formations, I think is just as interesting as the tour itself. So the history, the geology is just fascinating. I think it's unlike any other state in the Union in terms of what it has to offer for beauty.
Hey, we're making our way up the Top of the World Trail. In fact, the top is right up here. This is the spot that everybody wants to get their picture at. You will not believe the view when you see this, so you don't want to miss this. In the meantime, while I'm getting up here and lead my group, you guys check out this story coming up.
Close to 3/4 of all the land in Utah is public land. We can all do our part to recreate responsibly in these shared spaces, but there are a number of groups who take ownership of that land by volunteering to improve and maintain recreation opportunities. Today, the Utah Public Lands Alliance is partnering with Desert Roads and Trail Society, the St. George Jeepers, and Ride Utah to work with the BLM on several improvement projects near Sand Hollow State Park.
Sand Mountain is an incredible resource for us to recreate in. However, it requires some care, and that's what our organizations have bound together to do that in a cooperative project to improve Sand Mountain. We're up at Competition Hill right now, up at Top of the World, and we're going to be installing a new door tomorrow on the composting toilet we put in 6 years ago. Somebody vandalized it, first vandalism in 6 years. One of our tasks that we're doing this weekend also is installing signage.
We've put a lot of road signs up there, we put intersection signs, we put trail signs, we put obstacle signs, and they are all over the mountain so that people that use the mountain can see where they are. And we've shared the GPS coordinates with all the search and rescue and the local law enforcement so that if there is an incident, something happens, someone can just say, I'm at the wall or I'm at the chute, and the people know exactly where that is because it's a marked location.
I work with the UPLA all the time in Desert Roads and Trail Society. We're in constant communication. They're always reporting stuff to us up here and throughout our field office. They always come with projects they want to get done, and we help to facilitate those projects if we can. They're important to help, you know, meet some of our shared objectives of managing these lands, and it also, a real important thing in my mind is getting the community engaged and getting all these We're gonna have a bunch of volunteers out here today, and it gets them, you know, ownership, stewardship of this resource. So it helps fulfill our mission when we get more people really coming out here to enjoy and put their time and energy into these projects.
Our initial focus has been largely in southwestern Utah. We are working with other organizations throughout the state, partnering with them, and yeah, with growth, some things are going to change. But part of the reason that it's growing is people want what we've got. So we've got to figure out a way to get the people out there, have them use it responsibly without destroying it, and it can be done.
With several organizations involved, it's easy to divide and conquer all the projects in one weekend. With volunteers picking up trash, installing signs, repairing vandalism, or constructing a fence, it's incredible to see what gets accomplished when you have dedicated groups of people who put in the thought, the time, and the work.
When you have this kind of beauty that Utah represents, it's just inspiring. This is the first time we've had this many people and this many projects from this many groups coming together and working on it. We feel that that's the future of being able to keep trails open and keep recreation areas open for everyone. We represent not just motorized vehicles, but also non-motorized vehicles. So equestrian, mountain bikers, we want to get to everybody.
The best way to get involved is to get on our website, which is utahpla.com, where you can find information how to support us, how to join up with us, and see the benefits that we have to offer.
I view myself as a project manager. I put out a call for help, and we get an instant response. And it's just such a joy to work in an environment like that, where the volunteers are there and they appreciate the work you're doing. The people in Utah recognize the tremendous resource we have, and they want to go do what they can to preserve and protect it. And we, as an organization, want to make that possible as well.
If these seasoned professional people can volunteer their time and efforts to help us and think that this resource is that important, then I think it's possible for all of us to jump in, to ask what we can do, and to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Everybody always talks about the good old days when the grass was greener, the air was clearer, and adventure could be found in any direction. Well, the good old days are still here. You just need to know where to look. In Aurora, Utah, you can find everything you want out of life. Limitless OHV access, views that ignite the imagination, and destinations that remind you how the good old days are closer than you thought. Aurora, Utah, where the good old days are brand new.
Unexplored. Does it mean riding the same trails as everyone else? Fishing the same lakes? Stopping at the same views? No. Unexplored is so much more. To find it, you need to get off the beaten path. In the northeast corner of Utah, you and your family can still find a land that's unexplored. The shores of Flaming Gorge are only the beginning of a family adventure in Daggett County. Daggett County, Utah. It's what you find at the end of your adventure.
Join us on AYL 24/7 with early access to commercial-free episodes, detailed trip itineraries, a look behind the scenes, group discussions and forums, profile and account customization, individual segments, and a nostalgic trip to classic episodes. We want our viewers to get the show they want to see when they want to see it. It's all the viewing you've grown to love and more. Sign up now at AYLTV.com.
You ever been out here? Where a sunrise is not only seen, but also felt. Where wrong turns always feel right. Out here, things can get a bit rocky, and even messy. That's why we've created a performance machine built to rise to any occasion. So meet us out here in the all-new Razor XP.
Man, it's the best out here.
Hey everybody, welcome to Top of the World. This is the top of the world. I can't necessarily call it an obstacle, but more of a challenge is what I'm going to call it, because I'll tell you this, pulling your Jeep up to the edge of this is a little nerve-wracking, and I have a feeling I don't want to know what's underneath me right now. But hey, this is an incredible view. I'm looking down on Fisher Towers from above, from the backside. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, I'll tell you what, I don't mind sitting here for a few minutes, but I think pretty quick here, my heart's aflutter, and it's time for me to back this bad boy on down here. So while I work on that and get the others up for their photo opportunity, you go check out next week's show.
Next week, we're joining the Johnson family as they get to join the wonderful folks at Sunrise Outfitters for their grand opening event as they spend the day on an out-of-this-world adventure hitting the trails in Blanding, Utah. Then Reese and Marianne Stein are taking you to Bolivia as they visit one of the most popular tourist attractions in all of South America as they spend the day hiking on the island of the Sun on Lake Titicaca. And finally, I'll be back to show you how tomorrow's automotive technicians are the students of today as we get an in-depth look at the Skills USA Automotive Competition and what it takes to become a master mechanic. Now, let's check out our calendar of events. First up, Jamboree season rolls on with Side-by-Side Adventure Rally on the Rocks, May 11th through the 13th. This is a fantastic family-friendly 3-day event that features guided trails and some great rock crawling and scenery in and around the Sand Hollow State Park.
Hey, next week's show looks pretty good. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? All right. Well, I don't think it's going to top this. You cannot top of the world. I mean, we are on top of the world right here. And with a bunch of close friends as well that we've made because we met them on the trail in Moab before and actually had the pleasure of being able to prepare your Jeep for this trip.
That's right. Drove my Jeep out to Salt Lake, and Scott was kind enough to do some work on it before we hit the trails, and I would suggest you do the same.
Well, good. You know, so far so good. No brakes.
No brakes.
I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed. They're a little cold right now, so I have to help them a little bit. I know all of you who are in northern Utah are enjoying about 3 feet of snow right now, and we are lucky enough to say that we escaped that. But you know, it's been a wonderful week. We've had a great time down here. Jeep Safari is such a special event. Moab is such a great place to come to, and we just had a great time. So with all of that in mind, we're going to encourage all of you to get off your couches and get out and create your own adventure at your leisure. Come on, everybody, let's go. Woo!